assessment is really the place where a lot of this challenge has hit everyday educators, because it's really exciting and fun to talk about all the great things we could do with technology and with AI, but some of the really challenging things come when we try and assess people in a world where AI can do so much of what we used to assess. I've got this picture here, how to draw an owl. The first thing you do if you want to draw an owl is you draw some circles. And then the next thing you do is you draw the rest of the owl. Now it's a joke. It's obviously a ludicrous suggestion that I could just say to you, a couple of circles, and then you draw the rest yourself. But it feels like that's what educators are being asked to do when they say, I'm really worried about assessment in a time of AI, and someone says, you just have to reimagine your assessments. It turns out reimagining is a really hard thing to do. I'm today going to help to fill in some of the circles, some of the stuff between the two circles and the owl from some of the research that we've been doing at my Centre Cradle and some of the broader work that other people are doing. I start with a disclaimer. This is the most boring part of the talk. I'm a standards-based assessment person. So in our context and a lot of other contexts, we need to specify the standards students will be assessed against and then certify if they have achieved those standards. And that's one of the main purposes of assessment. Now, assessment also has a learning purpose, and I support that learning purpose, assessment for learning. However, it's not going to be my main focus here today. I'm largely going to be focused on the certifying and credentialing purpose of assessment. 4 things that I would love to convince you of. Firstly, the need for assessment to change for a time of AI. Secondly, some thoughts on how that assessment change might happen. Then some key considerations. So these are some concepts from the research literature with some examples. And then finally, a very particular type of assessment change that I would like to convince you of, which is structural change to assessment. If AI can do your assessment task, so this might be an assignment you set to students at any level, to the passing standard, so it's good enough to get through to the next level, to pass the task, and your task matters for the assurance of learning. So your task is something that is part of that decision to accredit someone as a graduate, then there might be a problem. So a lot of people have said to me, oh, AI can only get a B- or something like that. And maybe AI can only get a B- in your task, but a B- is still, in most contexts, a passing grade. It still certifies that you have met the outcomes being assessed, just not to the highest standard. That's the problem. The problem isn't whether AI can do assessed work to an excellent level. It's whether AI can do it to a good enough to get through level. So this is the formulation of the challenge that we have in education right now. If we design assessment based on a view that AI can't do something, that same thing is probably on a developer's whiteboard as a to-do item, or it's something they've done that they're testing in beta right now. We can't design assessments with a view to, I will just set a task AI cannot do, because if you do stumble across something it can't do right now, it's very likely it will be done in the near future.